Hey, my beautiful bitches, it's me, Fiona St. James, and welcome to another episode of Fiona's Coffee Talks. And as always, I'd like to start off every morning with a fresh, black, hot cup of coffee. Hold the cream! I'd love to, in my new favorite mug, which of course is the logo to my channel, Fiona's Coffee Talks. Hold the cream! With no Kahlua, since I don't drink anymore. Who knew? Anyway, it is Thursday, May 21st, going on 2 p.m. And we, of course, are still in the middle of this pandemic, which now they're saying June 13th, things are going to lighten up. Who knows? You know what? I'm sort of in it for the long run and just trying to make the best of a bad situation. So today's topic is, drumroll please, Gay Pride Month. And the reason I wanted to do this one is because June is right around the corner. June 1st is, 10 days away? And so by the time you see this video, which I think will be posting next week, Friday, because I always shoot in advance, it will be like just about the beginning of June. So anywho, it just made me think of, the current situation and Gay Pride Month coming up, which has always been, such a great festive month for me, and I'm sure for tons of other people. And now all of a sudden, Gay Pride is canceled and all of these other events that would have normally happened are not going to. So it made me think back 5 years ago, Gay Pride Month of 2015. And I'm sure most of you know, or if you don't know, you're going to find out now. But 5 years ago, that month was when I finished writing the first draft of my self-published memoirs, The Life and Crimes of Fiona St. James, which here's a little plug. You can get it at fionastjames.com. Who knew? $14.95. It's 400 pages of my life chronicling everything that went on in New York and how I played a part in it. And, the whole vibe and groove of New York City. But anyway, the reason that I wanted to bring this up was because when I finished the first draft, it was actually June of 2015. So 5 years ago, this coming month was when this happened. And it was interesting because there were a couple of things that happened. Like I had finished writing the first draft and then I was going to start with the editing, and then a couple of things happened. So got to put the glasses on because I am the age that I am, so can't read without them. So, okay, so the first thing that happened was right when I was going to hand this off to my editor, I received a wonderful email, and I actually wrote in the book what the email said. So, and basically it said, on behalf of the Bronx Pride Committee of the New Bronx LGBTQ Center, I am honored to advise you that we have selected you to receive an award which will be presented at our very first Bronx Pride Award dinner this year on Tuesday, July 14th at East Manor in the Bronx. We would like to present you with the Reverend Magora E. Kennedy Stonewall Courage Award to highlight all of the work that you have done for our LGBTQ communities, whether it be through the Imperial Court of New York as Empress Fiona St. James, or through the crafting of your art as an actor, as well as in your daily personal life as an out and proud LGBTQ individual. So, when I received that email, I was like, oh my God. I mean, talk about getting emotional because, I'd like to think that I've lived my life courageously. And I mean, God knows I'm open and honest about everything that I've done, and everything that they stated. Yes, true. I'm an actor. I've been an activist in my own right, and I've done fundraising, but, then I've also done the massage work, and I've never ignored my libido, and I've never been one to not talk about it. So yeah, like most people in life, certain bitches will judge you because of certain things that you do, because I ain't the most traditional or conventional person. But I just remember thinking when I received that email that it was like, wow, to me, it was such a validation for the fact that I even went and wrote this book, and wrote it in the manner that I did, where I didn't sugarcoat anything. And I really was just, it's graphic, it's explicit, it's, I'm not ashamed of anything that I've done or things that have happened. And for the most part, things go my way, and that's because like the underlying theme of this book really is, for myself anyway, is that I have always kept my karma clean. So despite the fact that maybe people don't agree with some of the things that I've done or the choices that I've made, bottom line is I ain't harming anyone. I'm not harming myself. And so long as as you keep that clean, then, and if you're basically a good person, then I've always said the universe provides, and the universe always, luckily for me, has. So I'm going to put these back on because then something else happened. So I just said, talk about a great and wonderful sign. Thank you, universe, because the timing of it was really so perfect. So then, so that was sort of like PS, just when I was going to hand it to my editor. So then all of a sudden, I'm like, PSS, it's June 26, 2015, and the Supreme Court passed gay marriage being legal in all 50 states. What a monumental decision and a step forward for humanity. It has been a happy, emotional day knowing that we now have the same rights and benefits, and I am thrilled for all of my gay and lesbian friends in committed relationships. Although I am still single and my track record has not proven so great, I still hold on to that dream of meeting Mr. Right. Marriage has never been a priority for me, but it's great to have options. That has given me new hope, and perhaps one day I too will walk down the aisle. So that was, but when I think of like 5 years ago, the month of June, and, me getting that award and gay marriages being, recognized finally and legal. And I remember that was such an amazing gay pride that year because, well, the gay marriages, and then on my own personal level, me receiving that and me, finishing the first draft of this book. So it was all kind of neat. So then it's interesting that like, here it is 5 years later, and who would have known? Like I would have never been able to predict 5 years ago that we would be where we are now. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. And, I have to think for myself, and hopefully for others, the one good thing that can come out of what we're all going through is seizing this opportunity to be reflective, reinvent yourself, just, what's the word I want to use? Just rethink things and just, reevaluate, for lack of a better term. And just, I think we'll come on the other side of this that much stronger and better and wiser. At least that is my goal, and that's what I've been working on to do. So hopefully you guys are as well. So anyway, that is the scoop with that. And like I said, I felt the need to do it because, you're always trying to think, what topic can I come up with? And, I have to admit that being in isolation and like not going out and not going to any events because nothing is happening, a lot of times that's how you get your material for these things. And, I've done a handful of episodes on, COVID-19 itself. I try not to get political, although I did maybe with one or two, but I've never wanted my channel to be about that. I always try to keep things lighthearted and fun, and that can sometimes be a little hard if you get talking about, the coronavirus and getting all political. So, and it just kind of seems like these days, any video that I do, that's some kind of little component to it. So there you have it. But anyway, guys, for my gay brothers and sisters, or even if you're not a gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, queer, and if you don't identify as any of that, but you support those of us that are, I'm sorry for all of us that we're not having the kind of gay pride month that we're used to having. But when all is said and done, I think, maybe things, they're saying middle of June, things will lighten up a little bit. I already know, the parade obviously is not going to happen. That's way too many people. But, we'll figure out other smaller little ways of having fun. Or maybe there'll be some kind of like virtual big shindig or something. Who knows? Anyway, guys, so I just wanted to say that. And this was part of me being reflective and me thinking, wow, gay pride, that's kind of weird, but you know what? This is the way it was supposed to be. So I firmly believe that. And it made me walk down memory lane and, think about 5 years ago. So always good to kind of go back to your roots and think about things that have happened in the past. Good things. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here and tuning in. Don't forget, subscribe, set your notifications, and most importantly, please stay safe and healthy. And I will be seeing all of you guys soon. Love you. Bye.